Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing is going on in the world. Just questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. That's all we're thinking about right now.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and get into these questions. This one is from Adam to start us off. Tails and Shadow enter a high school science fair together and are up against other odd Sonic pairings. What do they invent? Who else is at the science fair? And who ends up winning first place?
Tails wins because he cheats and he just passes off Shadow as the experiment.
Well, I mean, Shadow was the science experiment, literally. So, yeah, that's...
And Shadow's a little miffed because he's taking Gerald's credit, and Tails is going, no, I'm iterating off of his previous experiment by saying, does a hybrid alien life form get taller if he stands on a box? And the conclusion is yes, science.
Oh, darn, I was hoping he just put a hat on him.
I will accept that as well.
A very tiny...
Can you tell the differences if I'm wearing a hat? Yes.
It's a very tiny
That's
hat.
it. Science. Meanwhile, what else have we got?
This is Boom Tails. This is
it's absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
This is the one that licks walls that taste like dirt. This isn't real Tails.
What's another fun pairing? We got Vector and Rouge.
Okay.
And the experiment is, how long does it take for Knuckles to realize the Master Emerald is gone? With the secondary hypothesis of how long is he going to take to pay Vector for finding the Emerald for him?
Let's see. One of the other pairings is Gerald and Doom.
All they do is like the baking soda lava volcano.
Yes. The very simple one, yes.
You have Big and Charmy. The entire question is fish, and their conclusion is yes.
Yes, fish.
Second place.
I mean, I don't know. That sounds like a winner to me. Yeah. Put your other ideas for funny science fair pairings down in the comments below. Here's a question from Alice M. Considering the events of Sonic 06 were erased from the timeline by the end of the game, how would Sonic have known that Silver could go super at the end of the Metal Virus saga? It seemed like his plan hinged on this, but from the canon timeline perspective, Silver had never gone super before?
I feel like we've done this one before, like last year or something.
Maybe.
But Sonic has shown occasionally some odd insight in the games even as to previous events, and other times not. So... timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly paradox stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about it. How does anyone figure out they can go super or not?
Maybe Sonic just assumes everyone can. It's just they never do.
Boy, that would be nice.
Okay, Amy, now or never, we have to go super together. What do you mean you can't? Fine, all right, back up. Big? No? Knuckles? What's with that look?
Big
Maybe not anymore.
Big doesn't need to.
I don't know why you want me to power down, but okay.
Exactly. All right, Alolan Figment has a question. In the Sonic Rumble pre-launch, there was recently a boss battle event with the Egg Pawn Rangers, a group of 5 powerful Egg Pawns with designs inspired by Super Sentai / Power Rangers. How would you integrate these newcomers to the Eggman Empire in a story?
Totally just rip off the Axum Rangers out of Mario RPG.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I mean, that, or they're more like modern hard-boiled heavies, maybe, kind of.
I mean, knowing me, I would lampshade, whatever happened to the hard-boiled heavies, and Eggman's like, who?
Yeah.
And then we never mention it again. But yeah, basically just the Axum Rangers. One key personality trait, a whole bunch of snarky attitude, lots of choreographed posing. Healthy sprinkling of Ginyu Force in there, because why not?
Of course.
And how do you integrate them? Eggman built new robots. That's the beauty of his shtick. Any new robot is like, oh, he had an idea. Bing!
He was watching TV one day and These obnoxious children were being jerks. But he thought they were inspiring, for his own uses.
Father, I have a new favorite television program. But they still have TV? You're not streaming this? Ooh, look at all the colors. And all that theatric action. Ah, you know what Daddy likes.
Yes.
Here we go. We're going to make them.
Yes.
Sage shows up as the Green Ranger with the special armor and the flute and the Zord all of her own.
Yeah.
He is going to absolutely indulge that power fantasy on her part.
Good. All right, Alphamon or Yukon has a question. Through some bizarre shenanigans, Sonic, Tails, Knucks, and Amy find themselves thrust into the Mario and Rabbids crossover.
Yeah.
As they search for a way home, they end up facing off against the Phantom of Bwapara. My question is simple. How does the Phantom musically roast each and every one of them, and which one of them manages to clap back with an epic musical diss of their own?
Now, I'm not really familiar because I loathe the Rabbids.
As we know.
And I've heard the Mario Rabbids crossover is like one of the best XCOM games you can get, which is utterly baffling. And, people love it legitimately for its own mechanics and that it's just a solid game. And, for that, kudos to the dev team. I'm glad folks who played it enjoyed it. I'm glad you had a great experience. I ain't touching it. I hate the Rabbids. So I do not know what the Phantom of the Bwapara is, but I can hazard a guess, especially with all those handy context clues within your question.
Yes.
How does he musically roast? The question is, how mean is the Phantom and how goofy is the Phantom?
So,
does he...
Ian, are you familiar with the Great Mighty Pooh?
In passing.
It's
no pun intended.
It's much like that. It's that level of theatricalness. Just very goofy and very mean.
Okay. He focuses on Sonic's flippancy, Tails' inconsistency. Everything for Knuckles seems like a compliment, except he's insulting his gullibility. And Amy's one-track mind. And they all endure. Knuckles is actually kind of hey, I'm actually getting a nice one this time, until the punchline hits. And he's like, hey! And then Sonic, Tails, and Amy do a quick huddle and then collaborate for a 3-part harmony counter diss. And it doesn't really faze him because that kind of jerk doesn't have the self-awareness to be insulted, but it's really just a distraction so that Knuckles can beat his face in.
Yeah.
And apparently he's like the load-bearing existence of all Rabbids, so once Knuckles kills him, all the Rabbids disappear, and Knuckles becomes the hero of my life, of all space-time.
Well, okay, it makes sense that it would be similar to the Great Mighty Pooh, because it's the same composers. So, yes, that is, yeah. And apparently the Rabbids hate him. So he's not like their friend. He's not like their leader. So
that's fine. They can still all disappear after Knuckles beats his face into guacamole.
All right. Andrew D has a question. As a bit of a follow-up to my last question, how much time passed between Sonic 2 and 3? Originally, the manual for Sonic 3 talked about Tails creating a radar that picked up on the Master Emerald, which led them to Angel Island. Did that no longer happen?
I don't know.
I guess that's one way to put it.
I mean, I kind of hate the idea of losing the little bit of lore where the engraved ring washes up on the beach and that prompts them for adventure. But we had an extremely tight budget, both time and monetary, to do the origin scenes. So there's room for interpretation.
Yeah. All right, here's one from Arc Beetle. It is No Nut November. Every time Sally touches her nuts, Solaris kills a chow. How can she resist the urges to masticate nuts?
Somebody paid money for you to read that.
I know.
Well, Sally is disciplined and forward-thinking, so she would have the self-control to not harm any chow.
That's good. Axis has a question. Since we are all celebrating Sonic Rush's 19th anniversary this month, I thought We're old, Ian. I thought about a fun what-if scenario for the game, and I would like to hear your take on it. So what if Blaze never meets Sonic in Sonic Rush? The events of the game happen the same, except Blaze never meets Sonic and possibly Tails, but she meets everyone else and she kills the Eggman in Deadline Zone. How would Blaze move forward as a character, and what would the other characters think about her? It seems like it would be almost impossible for Blaze to meet anybody else and not meet Sonic, considering they're all like connected to Sonic.
Yeah, but it's been a while. But from what I remember from Rush's story, she barely interacts with Sonic at all. Like they run across each other very early on, and she does the super cool, vanish into a pillar of fire, and then I don't think they cross paths again until the fight over whether or not she gets to scramble the Eggman.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that wouldn't be that big of a revision.
No, true.
I can't remember if Cream or Amy particularly talks about Sonic. She might have some context of who he is, but I don't think so.
Oh, although that is a little weird. You think Amy would talk about Sonic all the time?
I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I went through, it with in fine detail, but it might be something, or at most she has a understanding that Sonic exists and he's supposed to be somebody special.
Yeah,
but she scrambles Eggman. Sonic shows up for the Deadline fight a bit late, and he's like, "Oh, that crispy. That's not good. Not cool." But I'm assuming that Eggman Nega is still around because of time shenanigans and kidnaps Cream, and you still have to do the final boss fight. No. Well, the semi-final boss fight, not the super boss fight. And Cream is rescued, and Sonic is president during that fight, so Blaze would have an exposure to him there and his heroism in rescuing Cream, which she has a deep bond with, so they would be on friendly-ish terms. Kind of hard to debate morality when the bad guys are attacking with the big old mecha.
First thing Amy asks Blaze is, "Are you looking for Sonic?"
Yeah, all right.
So, first words out of her mouth.
Yes, but that doesn't tell Blaze who Sonic is.
Well, she then goes on to say, "I'm warning you, though, I'm Sonic's girlfriend." Which means Sonic is Amy's boyfriend. So, there you go. There's your context. There's Blaze's context.
Sonic, we finally meet. You're Amy's significant other one. I'm sorry, the what now? First you kill off my reason to run around. Now you're saddling me with it. Who are you, lady? I mean, Nega is enterprising enough. I imagine he would still pilot that weird prawn dragon final mecha to prompt the super burning fight. So I guess it would still be the same overall. Just maybe wouldn't have the same poignant, bittersweet goodbye. It's like, all right, so you're going back to your world? Yes, I am. All right, try not to kill anybody else. Bye.
Oh, just because you don't have the gumption to do it yourself, Sonic. Whatever. Chaos Sonic 1 has a question. I don't mean to be rude, but I doubt Sega will use the Shatter Space since, like 06, it took itself out of the equation, as Shadow Chaos Control teleported the Paradox Prism. And unless you want to pull a Sonic Generations, it's impossible to do, especially since Blaze's world isn't part of it.
No, there's ways to work around it, because
yeah,
I'd have to go back and review the ending of Prime, but I feel like the existence of the Shatter Space was left indeterminate, because it's kind of hard to spend a whole season building up all these different worlds and fleshing out all these different versions of the characters and say, and they're gone now. Congratulations, Sonic, you won and you murdered a multiverse. That I don't feel like that was what they were going for. And you may ask, well, if they restored the energy to the Paradox Prism, how does Shatter Space still exist? To which I refer you back to the name Paradox Prism. Paradox. Yeah. Paradoxical. It does what, I don't know. As for how that exists, how that coincides with Blaze's dimension, well, it's, I don't know, headcanon here. The Shatter Space was derived from Sonic's Prime universe, so that's more of a kind of bubble space around that one. Like blowing a bubble inside of another bubble. Blaze's alternate dimension just exists like next door. Sonic's house got multiple additions made to the house. Blaze's house is just down the street. That doesn't get affected. Maybe. I don't know. You may be right. We may never return to Shadow Space. I don't know.
We'll see someday. Maybe. Cherry Hearts You has a question. Amy is given a bunch of hammers to try. She gets the gravity hammer from Halo, the golden hammer from Smash Brothers, the Hammer Brothers seemingly infinite throwing hammers, and, while not a literal hammer, the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War. It's a city-leveling space laser for those unaware. Which is her favorite to use and why?
I would think gravity hammer. It's got a nice heft to it. It's got a satisfying impact sound, and the double jump you get from that thing is delightful.
Yeah.
Plus, you hit anything and it goes flying. That's personal bias because I really like the gravity hammer, but I think she would enjoy that because that's the closest to what she normally wields, but with some extra bonuses. The Smash Brothers Golden Hammer, there's no effort to it. It just, it auto swings. There's no oomph behind it. It knocks everything away effortlessly. There's no fun in that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for her, when you're down 2 stock and everybody's running in fear from you, there is fun to be had in that. Run, your golden reckoning comes! Hammer Bros. Infinite Hammers, that's basically her powered up state, or her super state out of
hyper in Sonic Origins. Yeah.
Which is debatably canon anyway, but maybe she's chucking all the hammers and going, familiar. But again, they're very lightweight, and so while there's a certain amount of fun to be had in just flinging all the hammers, I think she likes being something that has a bit of weight behind it that she can really put her back into. And as for Hammer of Dawn, I think that's too techy for her. I mean, you press a button and you aim. That's more Tails' thing. So she just, puts it in a gift box and gifts it to him. He's like, what does this do? And she's like, don't use it indoors.
Oh, okay. As long as he uses it outdoors, it's fine.
Now I'm imagining it's tied to the Eclipse cannon, so the arc is just whoop, whoop, whoop across the atmosphere.
No, thank you. Here's one from Chillo2. With the success of Sonic X Shadow Generations so far, do you think we could possibly get a Silver-focused game down the line, exploring more of the lore of Silver's future?
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. Because Silver didn't have the same impact as Shadow did.
Yeah.
In part because he did not have the same kind of game first out of the gate. Shadow debuted in SA2. Silver debuted in Sonic 06. So
yeah,
I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't know if that would be a priority, but you never know.
Well, we can only hope.
I mean, again, with all this kind of stuff, if you want to see something, say so via the social media channels. They are very receptive to that feedback as long as it's courteous. And it gives them an actual metric to show the bosses saying, look, we have people demanding a Silver game. They really, really want a Silver Generations or whatever. Give them something to work with.
Alrighty. Classic Metal Sonic #1 fan has a question. Seeing as they're the only Metal Sonics explicitly shown to have the ability to speak, as recently as Sonato Generations, how would Classic Metal and Neo Metal, Metal Overlord, interact with one another if they were to cross paths in white space?
I don't remember what the workaround was for Classic Metal because he's not supposed to talk either. I know we addressed that somehow.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey nonsense.
Possibly. Classic Sonic can't speak, so Classic Metal has to show him up. I am the one true Sonic. I can actually speak. LOL. That is an interesting question because would Metal Sonic across the ages have the exact same viewpoint so that Classic Metal sees what Neo Metal has achieved and thinks, aha, I'm finally going to get somewhere eventually? Or is Classic Metal still so new to the process and still so narrow in his focus that neo-metal is too divergent. You've changed too much. You are not the one true Sonic because you've deviated and incorporated other elements. I can see going either way. That would be interesting with either scenario.
I think it's because classic metal stole classic Sonic's voice. That's probably why.
There you go.
He talks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mugged him before he went to Green Hill.
Yeah, classic Sonic doesn't talk, but classic metal does. Well, modern metal Sonic doesn't talk, but modern Sonic does. So, there you go. We figured it out.
You have stolen his voice box, my hyper metal Sonic.
Yep, figured it out. Here's one from C-Man. Oh no, it looks like Sonic's world has been renamed by the government to Ian's world, complete with a giant Ian Flynn moon that constantly smiles and sasses people in all the wrong ways. How does everyone react, and how does Kyle set things straight?
Well, I mean, you tried to shut me up with the eclipse cannon, but all you did was blow out my eye.
You act like I wasn't the one who set this in motion to begin with.
All right, then. You were the one who tried to amplify my grand lunar voice with the eclipse cannon, but a wire got crossed, so you blew out my eye. Hey, thanks, Kyle.
It's Ian's world. We're just living in it.
God, what a horrible, horrible thought.
Could you imagine
Ian's world?
Imagine it's Majora's Mask, but it's Ian's face coming down. Oh no.
Yeah, no, I could make that grimacing face the entire time. Sure, that works. And wouldn't you know it, I have a strange green field with a tree inside my head. It's the weirdest thing. The doctors have no idea what to name that condition.
Wow. Crazy.
Amy Rose looking up from the city street. Half of Ian's face is gone? I'll tell you what, I'll pull a the end if Eggman decides to try anything with my face.
Yeah. Dawn of the third day.
Just bearing down on all of Westopolis.
Oh boy.
Sassing people in all the wrong ways, just shouting at, hey you! Yeah, you! Quit it! We just let them all wonder, who? Which one of us? What is he talking about?
At noon every day you say, welcome to the BumbleKast.
Start playing peekaboo on the horizon. Is it nighttime? No, it's not. How about now? Nope. Daytime moon. And now I'm gone. Getting really cross with all the conspiracy nutters. Yes, they landed on me. Right on my nose. Vouching for it. I was there. Shut up already.
Yes.
Am I made of cheese? Well, I'm cheesy enough, so I guess so.
Maybe. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this one here from Comic the Hedgehog. Maria gives Shadow a handmade card with drawings of the two of them and the words "best brother ever" written on it in crayon with little hearts. How does Shadow react to this heartfelt expression of love?
With the absolute most deadpan glare. I love it. You've reached a deep part of my heart. Thank you, Maria.
Yep.
This is the happiest I have ever been. I will cherish it always.
Why is he getting angry?
I'm not angry, Kyle. I'm ecstatic. Emotional control.
Shadow just doesn't know how emotions work, I guess. That tracks. All right, here's one from Conga. Sonic and company are singing My Way for karaoke. Who mumbles along, who tone deafly screams, and who gets way too into it and breaks down in tears at the end?
Knuckles mumbles. He doesn't really remember all the lines, but he has a choreography down. He's got that down pat. Tails gets a little too into it, maybe. The music moves him. He gets into the beat. He gets into the moment.
He doesn't want your damn lemons. He did it my way.
Wait a minute. Are we talking
Frank Sinatra, My Way?
Oh, sorry.
What were you thinking of?
When you say Sonic and Co., I immediately think to the boy band version of them in Sonic Boom. So I was thinking like, tell me why. You know,
No.
they want it that way.
I want
my
it that way. Not no. Frank Sinatra. That's I want it that way, not my way.
That changes things. That changes things.
No, Frank Sinatra's My Way. I did it my way. I mean, popularized by Frank Sinatra, not original. Unless you're talking about, unless Conga is talking about the Limp Bizkit song My Way, but I don't think so.
Well, in that case, I'm going to give both the mumble and the emotional beat to Knuckles because he's really into it. He's selling it, but he doesn't remember how it goes. And so, and so I raise the final curtain, my friends. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Of that I'm certain.
At least he's certain of whatever that is. All right, Crispy Midget 69 has a question. How would a crossover between classic Mega Man and My Hero Academia turn out?
I'm going to break the rules and say that the copy chip can copy quirks.
I mean, why not?
And this all culminates in Rock copying the One for All so that he and Deku can just plus ultra whoever the villain du jour is. Maybe it's some upstart guy who's quirkless and he Wily sponsors him with a bunch of quirk emulating tech and he like composites it all together into becoming some kind of cybernetic Wily machine nightmare. And so Deku and Rock have to use everything all at once for this one final shot to win the day. Really, I'm just looking for an excuse for color palettes and special helmets of all Class 1A to put on Rock. Can you blame me? No, you can't.
No.
Dr. Light's a guest lecturer at UA, brings his kids along. Do they have quirks? Not exactly.
Well, kinda, but not. Technically, no. It'd be fun to see. Our last question before we take a break is from D. Teach. The Isekai adventures continue, and this time, Starline finds himself on the inactive Titan known as the Bionis from Xenoblade, where he finds himself in the middle of Colony 9 during a Mechon attack led by the faced Mechon leader, Metalface. The Mechon are here to destroy and kill all in sight, and yet Starline is intrigued by the Mechon and Shulk, wielding a blade known only as the Monado. Does he join the Mechon in their war against Bionis, or will he team up with Shulk to steal the Monado?
I never played that Xenoblade. Actually, I really haven't played a lot of the Xenoblades. I played some of Xenoblade Chronicles X, but honestly, you know what? I'm getting off tangent. That's not what you asked. So I'm not super familiar with all of that, but thank you for a very solid primer. I think just thrown straight into the mix, he's going to side with Metalface and the Mechon, thinking that he can somehow bend these machines to his will to defeat this clearly underdog uprising. But he would still be extremely enticed by this Monado because it seems special and he wants the special thing. And if I remember the lore right, if you use it too much, it starts to kill you, doesn't it?
I'm not sure, but apparently the Monado is almost impossible to wield by anyone except Shulk, so...
Oh, okay. Then Starline's definitely going to try to use it.
He really wants
me now, Monado boy, and then the Isekai adventures continue.
Yeah. Well, our adventures will continue after we take this quick break, so we'll be back with more soon on the BumbleKast.
This ad comes from Chaos Sonic 1. Hello again. I'm asking for you to help my friend Yuna Florynn and her husband, Hyro_/H/ quit his job, all to dedicate his life to taking care of his wife, Yuna. Commissions are open to cover the medical expenses, so please help them, as my friends need all the help they can get. H/ offers full character art for $25 USD, plus $10 per extra character, and avatars at $15 USD each. Please contribute if you are able. I really want them to be okay, as they are really nice, make really good art, and are good friends. Thank you. You can find links to their various accounts down below in the description of the episode. We're back, And we're starting off with our weekly giveaway question. Follow us on our Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, or Facebook and have a chance to have your question answered for free on the show. This week's winner is...
Kaichu? Not 100% sure. Let me know. I'm very curious about the direction you and the IDW team are taking with Surge and especially Kit. Going on your previous stance of never wanting them to be good guys, was what we see in the writer's arc / the annual always the direction you plan to take them? Or was it decided upon later? They aren't redeemed, but Surge is getting slightly better, even if it's for selfish reasons, and Kit is getting worse, creating an interesting conflict between the two.
Evan is taking them in a direction that I wouldn't have personally gone in myself, but, she's lead writer now, so she can do that, and that's fine. And I'm following her lead from there. As for where they're going, I ain't gonna say nothing. You gotta read and find out.
I mean, you just gotta keep reading. Yeah, what the heck, man? I'm not gonna spoil it.
We have entered into, the beginning of a new chapter of their lives. We'll just have to see how it goes. And you know what? I'm gonna follow that up. I shouldn't have to do this, but I'm gonna follow it up anyway. That's not some kind of passive-aggressive swipe at Evan. Oh, she's doing something I wouldn't have done. No, it's fine. She's been lead writer for years now, and she's going to take the book in a direction that she feels like is best for it and the characters, with the guidance of editorial and Sega. Full blessing, full support. Just different writers have different approaches. Do not turn this into any kind of inner business feud thing, because I know some of you, and I know you'll try to do that.
Yeah. No, please don't do that. It's a direction you may not have thought of. It's not a direction you disagree with necessarily, right?
I underline it. I talk about it just because I want to give some insight into the process. I am not the voice of Sonic, and therefore other creatives have other ideas on how to do things, and that's fine.
Yep. You can leave Twitter, but Twitter will never leave you. All right, Dawson the Dachshund has a question. What if the Black Arms tried to trick Earth into accepting their rule by giving advanced gifts and knowledge? That way they could take the time to fatten us up before they ate us.
I'm imagining that bit at what was the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah. How
to eat humans, or how to prepare humans,
yes.
Or how to prepare meals for humans, how to...
Yeah, pretty much. How to
all
serve
hail
man.
Black Doom and his black arms. The murderous aliens from space have brought world peace, and also scrumptious pancakes. Oh my goodness. Our new alien benefactors have opened up all-you-eat buffets every 20 miles.
Well, that's
free of charge.
That Simpsons Treehouse of Horror is based on a Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. So, wow, we're getting real deep into this. This is a multi-layered thing here.
Now I'm just imagining Black Doom trying to play it all folksy. He's got a plaid shirt and these big old overalls just hanging off his frame, dangling with no legs. Y'all come back now and eat again, you hear? Kids eat free. Grandpa eats free. Everybody eats free. Come on down. Black Doom buffet.
Black Doom really...
Go ahead, indulge in that gravy. Mm-hmm.
Black Doom really is a Southern reverend.
Salad. Who wants to eat salad? Nobody wants to eat salad. Have yourself some more pie.
Eat free, kids. Oh, boy. All right, DDR Master Rab has a question. Tangle wants to see the good in everyone, and so I presume that includes the Zeddy. So Tangle decides to make a Zeddy OC. What would they like, and what other friends might she try and bring into this endeavor to do the same?
Tangle wants to see the good in everyone, but she is going to believe Sonic from his firsthand account that the Zeddy are just bad. They are bad news, dude. And so if she were to see, well, you know what? She already experienced Zavok. He banged her against the door like a ping pong ball battle. No. She knows the Zeddy are nonsense, and she will absolutely bust them up if need be. But that's not the spirit of the question. She wants to make a nice Zeddy OC. I don't know. Maybe Amy turned her on to the idea of fan fiction, and she's like, oh, wait, we can just write whatever we want?
Yeah.
Woohoo! That's fun. No restrictions, no rules. Hey, Joel, no rules. Joel just immediately perks up. What? Sorry? Who told Tangle no rules? Wait, no. But I don't know. Maybe she just didn't. She doesn't really go too. I don't know how creative she would be artistically. Maybe she would just come up with Zangle, which is just like a slightly modified version of herself, but who also enjoys athletics and exploring and beating up dudes. And so her imaginary friend, who is a Zeddy, and she's just shadowboxing with them. Maybe wears a little pair of Halloween horns so that the shadow, it looks like a Zeddy, and she's shadowboxing with it.
And her best friend Zisper. Her roommate Zisper.
Tries to bring everybody else in there. Hey, Amy, you told me about the fanfic stuff you're writing. I thought it was really cool. So I came up with my own Zeddy OC. And Amy's like, I'm sorry, what? Nope, back that one up. Are you, what? No? Whisper, look, I drew it and named it all myself. That's nice. Do you want one? No, thank you. Fair enough.
They were Zoom mates. Oh no. Dewdrop has a question. Sonic finally loses it, and not from his friends dying or being tortured. No, just Mario Party. And everyone can
do it.
And everyone can see how tense he gets after someone picks it for game night. But he insists the hatchet is buried, insists the war was a lifetime ago, insists he's totally fine, and they should just play the darn game already. Which they do, hoping the vibes will even out. What goes wrong, Ian? Wrote cruelty to the dice inflict, and when the game finally closes, what is said that cannot be unsaid?
This is a Boom episode.
Yep.
It would be the funniest Boom episode. We've had a lot of funny ideas.
It wouldn't be Mario Party directly, but it would clearly be inspired. Yeah, clearly.
Sonic's totally cool with it, guys. There was just that one outburst that one time. Just play the game. It's fine. He's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, of course he's going to roll a 1 first thing out. That's fine. Yeah, it's early game. It's anybody's game. It's fine.
It's fine.
How does Knuckles keep winning the mini games? He isn't even using the controller. Sorry, guys, I'm making a sandwich. Be right back. Tails and Amy are getting like all the perfect dice rolls and all the bonuses and all the stars, and Sonic is getting left behind. He can't roll anything. He's getting caught by not Bowser at every turn. Absolutely obliterated. Knuckles is pulling the Luigi tactic. He doesn't do anything. He's not even aware he's playing the game, and he's just like dominating.
Knuckles wins by doing absolutely nothing. Yep.
And so they get to the end of the board. Everything's wrapping up. And Sonic is just about to let loose. No, that's as the tallies are going, he finally snaps. He calls everybody every dirty name he can think of, how stupid this game is. He doesn't know why he even comes to hang out anymore. Why would he even choose this? You know what happened last time, blah, 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 blah. And then all the random tallies finish and he wins. He gets all the last second star steals. He gets all the last second bonuses. He wins.
Yep.
And he just kind of, wow, this really is anybody's game, huh? Wow. I mean, good game, everybody. That's when he sees Amy and Tails just glaring at him, because those things cannot be unsaid. And Knuckles looks up from his phone going, sorry, what was that? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, you won. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, boom, Knuckles.
And that's when Styx crawls out of the TV going, finally, you broke the curse. I'm free of the video game world.
And then the Isekai adventures continue. Wait, hold on. Here's one from Double L. Given modern Eggman's experience with the metal virus, if he were to now stumble on an Archie-style roboticizer, how would he react? Would he adopt it and use it? Find it trite, derivative, and passé? How long until he checks to see what happens when he puts a robot in there?
I mean, you say that like he's going to learn from his lessons, but how many Eldritch gods has he tried to tame?
All of them.
And shoot, he even succeeded with the Time Eater, so that's only going to reinforce it. And besides, metal virus, that spread on its own. If he has just a roboticizer, well, that's a self-contained unit. He can monitor that. Yeah, maybe replicate it, mass produce, distribute around the world. Okay, so it's a little more involved than that, but it's way more safe and manageable. And he's a genius. He can handle this. And converting anyone who opposes him into a mindless robot slave. Oh, sign him up. It's like Badniks, but better.
That's all he's ever wanted.
And
from his perspective, Time Eater was a success twice.
Yeah. I don't know if he'd put a robot in there himself, because why would he? He's converting living things into robots. It wouldn't even occur to him to put a robot in there to make it double dip robot? Extra crispy robot? No. But I imagine like in mid-battle, Sonic manages to kick Metal Sonic in there and boop! That causes a big old explosion. Eggman's like, I'm not going to have that happen again. And that's when Omega goes, wait, and purposefully steps into the roboticizer and explodes all around him, and he emerges covered in damage, jerking slightly as he gets his shoulder back in alignment. I can kill it just by standing there. Let me at him. Let me at him. Send me in, coach. I'm ready.
It's all he ever wanted. All right, here's one from Dove. Is the old man from the OVA Knight's grandfather? If so, is Knight embarrassed by him and his super 90s outfit?
I wish this could happen. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, unfortunately, never will, but it would be funny.
I would imagine Knight loves his grandpa no matter what. Like, he enjoys his eccentricities. You know, that 90s fashion makes him feel young, and he's living his life. So, you know what? More power to you, Gramps.
Let him be happy. We can only wish we were all that happy when we're his age.
I mean, he tries not to be too judgmental. He goes on the radio every night, and Grandpa thinks he's in the room, so...
Well, you know.
Everyone thinks he's being super sweet, making shout-outs to his grandfather every night, but it's just to make sure that he goes to bed on time.
It's adorable. All right, and we got a question from Earth Ian Flynn, please tell me all about your most popular character, Ian Jr. What's his hobbies? How does he sound? What's he like personality-wise? And most importantly, how does he continue to show up in Sonic comics and the Sonic Symphony to this day? Please, Ian, I must know all about this little freak.
You have the wrong Ian.
Yep.
Ian Jr. is the creation of Ian Munchler, who is a prolific creator in his own right and has his own little connection to the Sonic universe. So you need to seek out the other Ian.
Yes.
Which isn't to be confused with the other Ian, but the other Ian. The other Ian.
There's so many Ians on Sonic now.
There really are. It's kind of unnerving.
Yeah. Ian Munchler is on Tumblr, and apparently there's more information about Ian Jr. on there. So one of you guys has got to change your name. Either that, or you just got to go by. You just got to go by your actual first name now.
Are we going to do this like Highlander style, or Jet Li's the one?
Or not both.
Or are we just going to pull a Great Harmony and become Titan Ian?
There you go. As long as you don't have a neck, we're good. All right, Godzilla has a question. I'm here to challenge you, Ian, to Bumble Combat. Just kidding, but I wanted to ask, if you can talk about it, how did you get involved with writing the visual history of Mortal Kombat? Any meetings with the noob himself? And by noob, I mean Boone, as in Ed Boon. MK fans will get that joke. Also, who's your favorite fighter?
I did a fair bit of work for Inside Editions, the publisher, doing the Amy Fortune cards, the Sonic Cookbook, and they really liked working with me. So they said, would you be interested in this project? And I said, yes, of course. Because, I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. It's like one of the pillars in video gaming history, let alone fighting games. So even if I wasn't like as into it as I was, say, Sonic, I was still aware of it and its cultural impact. There is no denying that Mortal Kombat has had a major influence on, the past 2 generations.
Yeah.
Of everyone with everything. And I knew that it had an extremely robust narrative. So it's like, I'm going to have to do my research. And thankfully, NetherRealm Studios has been helping us out with clarifying stuff as I go through. No direct contact with anyone there myself, but still getting notes from the studio and clarifications and corrections and whatnot. As for favorite, I gotta pick one.
I mean, it's Sonya, obviously. Oh wait, that's mine. Never mind.
I mean, I know it's kind of basic, but I mean, the history between Sub-Zero and Scorpion is just, that's good stuff. That's the best part of the last movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sequence was phenomenal. They could have just had that as the movie and I would have been happy. But I think Hanzo's story specifically, it'll be interesting to see where they go with the new continuity.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, Liu Kang was just, the good protagonist. He was fine. But now that he's the fire god and doing things, trying to start this new reality, that has me really interested. And there's this one scene in particular in Mortal Kombat 1 when he's initially recruiting people. And I guess spoilers if you haven't played the game, but there's like a million of them now. So if you're really confused, pick up the book when it comes out. There you go. When he's recruiting everybody at the beginning of Mortal Kombat 1, and he comes to Johnny Cage's house, and Johnny's like, whoa, what's going on? Who are you people? And the smile that Liu Kang has seeing his old friend again, someone he's experienced multiple battles with and multiple timelines at this point, and seeing him reborn in this way, not yet exposed to the multiple realms and whatnot. It was such a subtle but charming moment. I really, really dug that. I mean, I'm always going to be a fan of Reptile because lizard people are cool. Shape-changing ninja lizard man. Yes, thank you. Goro's freaking awesome because big ogre forearm man. Punchy all the time. I mean, all of the largely inhuman things like Kintaro. I mean, Kintaro is just a freaking cool centaur concept.
Melina is just Surge if she could be unleashed.
More or less.
Yeah.
Aaron Black's just a big nod to the Dark Tower series, which, okay, sold.
Yeah.
Done. All right. We're fine. We'll keep going. I could probably find a reason why to extol each and every one of them pretty much. So, Collector, because he's just a weird gremlin man. Very gimmicky, but I love it.
I've always found it pretty wild how smoke blows up the entire world for one of his fatalities. Like, how do you pull that one off? It just explodes and it blows up everything. All right.
I love the joke characters or like the gimmick characters. So neat. Just cracks me up. I know I'm forgetting somebody.
Yeah.
Be like, I should have mentioned.
There's so many characters in Mortal Kombat, though. It's not even funny. I mean, it goes back so long. And I mean, there were a lot of characters back in Mortal Kombat 3, which was like almost 30 years ago now. It's like, Jesus. So many. All right, and here's one from General Jimmy's, as sponsored by Allison S. Dear Ian, what do you think happened to Dr. Light and the rest of his classic-era family during the transition to the X era? Did they die normally, or could there be a more kid-friendly explanation as to why they're no longer around? Say, for example, a one-way teleport into cyberspace. This way, Light and family can contribute to X by actively designing his armors. This idea was spurred on by a recent playthrough of Mega Man X4, where Dr. Light seems to be aware of present events, so maybe he is still alive in some fashion.
My headcanon-y thing, and I don't know if we'll never see my grand vision for the entire thing, but to me, Light was the first elf. Not necessarily in the...
That's weird, because his ears aren't pointy at all. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind.
Not like full on what we see in the Zero series, but like the precursor to that. That his hologram, his digital life force essence was kind of the precursor to that. As someone that he literally devoted his life to helping X well after he physically had passed. As for rock and roll, I never mind a tragic, bittersweet, stable time loop to make Quint work, but to escape that, rock and roll are recruited by Duo and they go into space to do cool adventure robot things. And so they are living their lives to the fullest, seeing strange and wonderful worlds and experiencing grand adventures and living their best lives. And after an interminable amount of time, they decide it's time to come home. And that's when they find that Volnut fella on the moon and decide to give him a ride.
Gotta help him out. All right, and here's one from Geo Knuckles. Knuckles, Tails, Rouge, and the Chaotix team up with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. How's it go?
Theatrically.
Knuckles, Tails, and Rouge. It's an interesting combination.
I think she wouldn't be into it at first. It's a little out there for her. She's a spy. she has a thing for flair, but it's on her terms. Putting on a bright costume and dancing in front of your well-armed enemies, not her idea of a good tactical decision, but it is kind of fun. And then everyone else is into it. I mean, the chaotics for sure. So it becomes a little infectious, and she's like, all right, it's funsies. And besides, this Sentai suit apparently gives her super armor. So why not have a little bit of fun with it?
Sure.
And I imagine she's like turning a morpher over in her hands going, and so what's the market price for this? Morphin coins. What metal is this? Ooh, exotic.
Yes.
And it turns into an activation crystal, you say. Can I see them all real quick? Just to, get an appreciation for the technologies. And Tails is like, don't let her do it.
Yeah. Rouge likes having colorful allies for her enemies to shoot at, so. Yes. As long as they can keep them distracted, she's good. This one from Gideon W. Borrowing from Batman the Animated Series, The Man Who Killed Batman episode. Main continuity, Dave the Intern is believed to have killed Sonic. How does this Dave's life change?
Well, we had Sid the Squid and Batman, so what do we have? Dave the Barbarian? Oh, wait, that's a completely different show.
No, yeah.
I don't think he's even aware of it at first. It's just all of Sonic's friends are really mad at him. And he's like, there's a waiver when you enter Mad Burger. You eat this at your own risk. It wasn't Mad Burger. It's when you were with the Lightning Squad? The Lightning?
I don't remember.
What were they called? But no, it was in your active villainy. Oh, really? Oh, that's great. I mean, we're bad. I'm not sure. I've never actually succeeded in life.
Okay, the Lightning Bolt Society. I thought you were referring to...
Lightning Bolt Society. There we go.
I thought you were referring to something on Batman, not on Boom. Okay. Yeah, now I see where we're at.
Eggman is livid. How dare some mere intern steal his gig? Do you know how long he's been building that portfolio? This was his fourth quarter goal, and then Dave stole it from him.
Oh.
Well, you know what that means. It's time for a hostile takeover.
Good.
And Dave is running for his life, because Eggman's out to get revenge for kill stealing. And he miraculously survives throughout, and sure enough, it's Sonic. He's not dead. He's looking out for Dave.
No, he's fine. The funeral happens.
Eggman takes over the funeral processions. If I can't kill him, I'm going to bury him. There are a few words that can accurately describe someone like Sonic. Irritating, annoying, bothersome, pestersome, dead. Knuckles is over there weeping. It's so true.
Yes. Shadow also weeping with the same sentiment.
Shadow just kidnaps Dave at one point and throws him against the wall, and you're thinking he's out for revenge, and no, he's just confused. How? How?
I've tried.
You want to form a complete sentence on that, or no? How? You, Sonic? How?
I've tried so many times. All right, Hearts 13 has a question. Fan casting, Taika Waititi, the VA of MCU Korg, as Dingo from Sonic Underground, Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, as the Omniviewer from Sonic the Comic, and Keith David Williams, the voice of Spawn, as Dr. Finitivus from Archie Sonic. How would these portrayals be received?
If we're going with those characterizations, Korg Dingo's funny. Hey there.
Yeah.
Dingo. Turn into anything. Could be a bike if you like. Go for a ride. Buy me nice. I'll be on the other side. I'd be doing all the work. I don't mind, though. I like to be helpful.
I love Korg so much.
Not super familiar with Mr. Capaldi or the 12th Doctor. And Omniviewer, that was the large computer screen in the special zone with the chaotics, right? It's been a long time since I went through Sonic the Comic. So.
You're asking the wrong guy, but apparently that is correct.
Okay, hey, there you go. But again, don't really know Mr. Capaldi's characterization, so I can't really riff on that. But Keith David is Finitivus. I didn't imagine that deep of a voice for him, but he could do the theatric and the intensity.
Yeah, I think he could lean into that really well.
It'd be very different than what I had in my own head, but it's Keith David. He can voice anything. I don't care. He could voice Amy Rose, and I'd say, yes, brilliant.
Read the phone book.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, question from Hero Squad. Sonic Boom, but with Colonel Sanders as the guest. How does it go?
He opens up a competing burger chain directly against Mad Burger and totally obliterates the competition. And seems to be rather jovial and gets along with everyone at first, but he's asking a lot of questions where all the flickies and cluckies are. It's getting a little worrisome.
The Colonel's mouth starts a watering and his hanks start a hankering.
Come now, I got 11 herbs and spices that have to go on something.
Delicious.
And then there's this, running B plot of Eggman trying to steal the recipe for the 11 herbs and spices. Orbot's really confused because they have just an automatic food prepper bot. Eggman doesn't cook. Why does he want the herbs and spices? Because that cooker bot is terrible. I programmed it because I don't know how to cook. You know what happens when you don't know how to cook, but you know something to cook? It doesn't cook well.
Yeah.
I need those 11 herbs and spices.
Colonel Sanders pulls his mask off, and it's Black Doom underneath.
And Sonic's like, the lack of legs should have told me that earlier on. Oh, well.
I knew it was walking all weird. What a twist. All right, here's one from Horseweave. Hey, BumbleKast, let's make a deal. I want Ian to choose between curtain 1, 2, or 3. Each choice will determine what can be added to the IDW comics next. The rest will be forfeited to Bandai Namco as an indie mobile game. Which will it be?
Fiend.
Which will it be? P.S. Kyle, no cheating or hinting to your personal choice.
What am I bringing to IDW and what is being banished to Bamco? Mobile hell.
I blew it.
I'm still mad about Crestoria, man. What a... All right. 1, 2, 3... Go down the middle. Curtain number 2. What's getting into IDW?
Sally and the Freedom Fighters.
Victory.
The other two are the introduction of Dinosaur Mobians and an 8th Chaos Emerald. And then curtain number 3 was a Silver Villain and Super Emerald.
Well, none of them are the wrong choice.
No. I had one job and I failed, but you know what? That's okay. Right now, though, I think it's time to get into the Sonic X Shadow Generation spoiler zone.
Put on your ponchos, kids. We're in the spoiler zone.
Yes. David C. has a question. In the ending of the new Sonic Generations, Amy no longer knocks Knuckles out with a push. Why was that changed? It was funny since Amy is that strong.
Because it made Knuckles look weak, and it made her look like she was just overly aggressively violent. Like, they're friends. She shouldn't be that callously rough with her friends. So there's still the shove there.
Yeah.
She can still be physically playful with the others, and Knuckles can take a shove. It brings them more in line of being friends and as equals rather than, Knuckles is an idiot. He got knocked into a tree, and Amy's thoughtlessly knocking people around. It's to the benefit of both characters.
Funny as it was originally, but yeah.
Yeah, but see, I've been in the fandom long enough. People hated that scene.
Yeah.
Not as much as the hand in the face scene. That, the rage over that one eclipsed the Knuckles in the tree. But some people found it funny. I thought it was kind of funny myself, but nobody really liked how Amy was done in Generations first time around.
And now people are
You
mad
don't
that
remember. I remember.
And now people are mad that it was taken out.
Yeah, well. When we remaster it in another 20 years, we can change it back.
We can put it back. Yes, yes. Han will shoot first again. And they're blaming you for it.
I'll be dead in the ground.
Really? In 10 years?
20?
No.
Yeah, maybe 5. Who knows?
Better not, unless I am. Here's one from Fang. In the rewrite for Sonic Generations, Knuckles asks Classic Sonic where the rest of Angel Island went. Sonic then proceeds to look at his stomach, implying that he ate the island. My question is simple. What does Angel Island taste like, and did Sonic enjoy every last bite?
Well, given all the different zones, I imagine it has a very wild palate.
Yeah.
Like every other bite's going to taste a little cool or a little zippy, a little airy, a little spicy. You got to savor that, man. Like it's an everlasting gobstopper. You never know what you're going to get next.
It's mostly tastes like dirt, which means Tails would love it.
And given Classic Sonic's expression, I think he enjoyed it, but he's kind of ashamed at how much he enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's displeased. He's not happy about
something when you eat something that you know you're not supposed to, and it was just really good. Like, so you can't even feel bad about it. You're like, oh, it was satisfying.
Yeah, he's not happy about it, but he's happy about it. And our last question is from Happy Times. Through time shenanigans, Big actually does manage to take Gerald out for a day of fishing at all his past favorite fishing spots. It's Big Generations. Shadow, your choice on either the one from 50 years ago or the present one, and Maria also get to tag along. How does this day go?
Considering how much angst Shadow went through in his game, we're going to make it the post SA2 Shadow so that he can have just a nice day out with his family. You know, pre-crisis Shadow, he doesn't have that baggage. He just has a little bit of existential doubt. Post-crisis, he needs some time off. He needs a little nice time. So
yeah,
we'll give that to him. Will he actually calm down and enjoy it? Up to interpretation. But yeah, we're going to give it to him at the very least.
Apparently, even Shadow smiled at Big's presence, so...
Yeah, it's kind of a smirk of, the hell are you doing here?
But he wasn't, like, just, like, mad to see him. Like, you
know.
No,
it was just like, huh, all right.
That's a positive reaction, is for Shadow, at least.
I kind of wish... I know there was no room for it, but the NPC dialogue... It's so one-sided, but I would have loved to have seen a full rendering of Big asking be taught chaos control and Shadow just staring at him. And then Big rationalizing to himself, no, wait, that'd make it too easy. Never mind. And he comes to this conclusion before Shadow can even process the initial ask. It's just like, you want me to teach? That's not even... How would you... Never mind. Okay.
Big just makes people happy.
And
even Shadow.
Gerald and Maria are enjoying the calm fishing at all sorts of locations because white space makes it all accessible. Ooh, Shadow, that looks like I might be a nice fishing spot. Oh, but it's all blanked out. Just a minute. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Restores time. Thank you, Shadow. Don't mention it. Maria insists everything is catch and release, though. You know, no actually harming the fish. Has to be ethical hooks that don't actually harm the fish.
Of course.
And Big's like, there's any other kind?
Yep.
He still sneaks a couple of fish to eat when she's not looking, but I mean, it's Big.
Can't hurt
you can only deny the ravenous pit that is his center so much.
Can't hurt the digital fish.
They're not digital, they're time displaced.
Oh, okay. I guess this isn't Frontiers.
Yeah, it's not Frontiers. This is just timey-wimey wibbly-bobbly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Oh, well, those fish were always destined to be eaten anyway.
It was inevitable.
Yes. Much like the end of this episode of the BumbleKast.
Indeed. Thanks to all our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members for supporting the show. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Look out for one another. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. I used to have a pet tarantula when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't take you for a tarantula guy.
It lived in a fish tank. Well, but my parents caught it. I think my mom caught it. We put it in a fish tank. Fed it crickets. It was outside. Fish tank was outside. For what that's worth.
Okay.
Don't worry, Cassie. I'm not going to get a spider. I'm not getting a spider or a scorpion. I don't want either one in my house.
Too bad. You get the scorpions for free.
Well, yeah, and the spiders. Spiders more often than scorpions.
Wait, are there tarantulas native to Arizona?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are they like the big ones, or are they just like spider sized?
Oh, they're pretty big.
Huh.
And like, you splay out your hand. They're probably about that size. Yeah, if you splay out your hand.
And I've actually been out that way. Never again. Never again. It's hotter than hell, and you have the 8-legged demons.
The thing about tarantulas is they're largely harmless. They're huge, and they look they're skewed. They're huge, and they look scary, but they're largely they don't really do anything.
I understand that, and I appreciate that, and they are, linchpins to the food web and all that, but also giant hairy hand with fangs. No. No.
Cassie, you would not have died. You wouldn't even. You wouldn't have died. There's no. They're not even poisonous.
I know that. Regardless,
I'm
the only tarantula I want is playing death metal.
Moving very slowly. Cassie would have killed me if a spider showed up, if a tarantula showed up. Are there centipedes? Yes.
I mean, why not?
No, yeah. No, of course there's centipedes here.
Fire-breathing birds.
No, there's none of those.
Skeletons riding on dragons. It's pretty nightmarish.
I mean, it would be pretty cool.
Like to feast on children.
It'd be pretty cool if there were, but they're not.
The sun screams as it rises and flips you off as it sets. It's crazy out there, man.
Pet tumbleweeds. I got my pet tumbleweed outside right now.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
How are the new kitties?
They're good. Mecleo has a little bit of a weepy eye, but he's got his appetite back. He's getting more curious, so looks like he's fighting off whatever he's caught.
That's the little one.
Yeah, that's the little bitty. Midna has graduated to almost tolerating their existence.
Yeah, well.
And Malikata, I thought it was a cat, but cats don't make these noises.
Weird.
Like, for those of you who remember the original Pokemon Snap, when you're going down the river and the shelders go flying out and they start going, nyan, nyan, that's her. That's the noises she makes.
Weird.
And varying degrees of oscillation of that. So it's... She's an interesting one. She's a sweetie, though.
Strange cat noises.
Like, she's a dynamo of energy, but she isn't playing too rough with the little one, and she's not aggressive at all with the older one, so...
Yeah.
And she loves fetch. She's not particularly good at it, but the idea of chase down ball, bring back ball to the region of the starting point, she got that.
Yeah.
It's just she gets distracted on the way back, or she'll bring it back and continue to try to kill it, and then is very confused why you're not throwing it because it's on the other side of the room.
Yeah. Apparently she makes
They're
little
silly.
power-up noises whenever she moves.
And anytime she jumps onto something, she needs at least 2 stages of wind up.
Okay.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
Butt wiggle, back up, calculating. Butt wiggle, back up, calculating.
Yeah.
And then goes literally bouncing off the walls.
Makes you think of the man groan standing up. Yep.
But we are now
funny.
looking into a means of putting up some kind of protective netting on the porch because Mickleo is small enough that he could walk under the divider or fall between the space between the edge of the actual patio and the railing. He's a bitty bitty boy. Malikata, I am 100% certain, would launch herself off into the void because she saw a shadow.
Yeah, that's probably no good. Time to put up a screen.
I think I have a means to do it that doesn't involve me standing on a step ladder 16 stories up, but
yeah,
hold
well,
on.